So this is part 4 of my my ideal Fallout game. In this part, I will be talking about basically what I would like to see in terms of gameplay mechanics and weapons. So and how weapons should be handled. So I guess we'll start with gameplay mechanics first, and then I'll talk about weapons. So in gameplay mechanics, I'll be talking about how I'd like to see side quests handled. I'd like to see main quests handled, factional quests handled, VATS, combat, and then I'll move into weapons after that. So let's get with gameplay mechanics first after the cut. So gameplay mechanics are a big issue in Fallout games. The first 2 Fallout games were basically just kind of like derivative of a traditional CRPG of their time. So if you played the Temple of Elemental Evil or Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, basically Fallout was using that same system, except the real hook of it was VATS in the setting, which was a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland. That was the hook of Fallout. Fallout 3 basically moved that into a more modern era, but it still was basically the same thing. A post-apocalyptic future with VATS and all that type of shit. Fallout 4, more of the same, except a lot of the RPG elements were kind of stripped out in order to tell a trash-ass story. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to make a game that's built around showcasing a story, the story needs to be really good. And the problem with Fallout 4 is that the story is trash. Most of the side stories are trash. The only story that kind of holds up is Marie, who winds up becoming a synth. I don't know. Anyway, so the gameplay mechanics in my ideal Fallout gameplay mechanics would be something like this. I'll start with the main quest. The main quest, instead of a icon telling you to go here and talk to this person, you would actually, you could turn that on, but I think the best way to enjoy it would be you're actually trying to discover where this scientist who stole this technology went. And you would see signs of his work, like the mutated, these weird-ass super mutants, these raiders who have access to technology they shouldn't have access to, and who are like insanely powerful, and have way more shit going on than they should be able to do. Because normally raiders are using shit that they scavenged or stole. These guys are using shit that's just a tier or 2 below what the Brotherhood of Steel or the Followers of the Apocalypse would be using. And it's new. It's not like old scavenged shit. It's brand new shit. So that's where your character's like, okay, well, obviously these people must know something. And so you're going to have to scavenge dead bodies and find notes and holotapes that you can use to listen to. Be like, okay, let me listen to this. Okay, someone's saying we got a supply run. So that's how you would further the main quest, is through actual investigation and looking shit up. The side quests, you would find side quests by reading things, going to towns, seeing posters on the wall. You can bounty hunt and find things where it's like, oh, well, yeah, this person is wanted, and you can go and take them out. Last seen in this location. That type of thing for the side quests and such. I would prefer to see side quests that are basically built around the concept of your character essentially figuring things out rather than you just being told, go here, do this. Because that just gets old really quickly. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it moving. Let's see. I did main quest, side quest, factional quest. Factional quests should be handled in a way where, depending on what the faction is, they could be something as simple as we need help getting started to, if it's an established faction, there's a power struggle going on with little sub-factions within a faction, and you basically choosing who to support, how to support. Maybe you can get some factions to put aside their differences and come together and do cool shit. Stuff like that is how I would basically roll that particular thing. That's my how I would do factional side quests in my ideal Fallout game. So with that being said, I guess we can move on to the big thing that Fallout is kind of known for, which is vets. So because the central conceit of this game is that you have people who basically want to use technology in new ways, like you know how typically in the Bethesda Fallout games, the technology is basically kind of like a variant of the punk that you have in Fallout. It's kind of like 1950s technology moved to the level where it's been highly refined, but it's still clunky. Well, the central conceit of this game is that the scientists in this title basically have started to use what we would consider to be more modern technology. So processors instead of transistors and tubes. So they have smaller, more powerful, more portable technology. Instead of the little shit that you see, the huge like vacuum tube computers where it's like you have a monitor attached to this giant machine. They actually do have smaller computers. And you know, they've had like 150 years to work on this technology. So like you can see more modern technology than closer to what we have now versus what you see in typical games. So for VATS, you would see like 3 different versions of the VATS system, and you can actually upgrade your Pip-Boy, or load different versions of VATS in order to essentially take advantage to how you want to play. You can have a VATS that's more akin to classic Fallout. You can have a VATS that's kind of like a mix between the old and the new, so what you had in New Vegas and 3. And then you can have VATS that's like it was in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, where it's like and kind of like in the Outer Worlds, where it's like, okay, as long as I don't do anything, I can slow down time. I can basically, time is hyper, my reflexes are hyper accelerated, so I can literally see what's going on and plan out my next move. But if you move, the amount of action points you use in that goes down. If you do an action, it can basically go way down, and you can bank a certain amount of ticks in your VATS in order to pull off special moves, like kick a guy in the nuts. I don't know, something like that. That's how I could see it being done, because you basically have an upgraded version of that, so that would basically give you that edge. So that's with my gameplay mechanics in terms of how quests would be done and how I would like to see, that's how the central conceit of Fallout is the VATS system. Next, weapons. So, Fallout has always had a lot of weapons. I think that we can step up our weapon game in Fallout by doing things like, basically in my ideal Fallout game, the weapons would be divided into 3 distinct categorizations based upon when those weapons were in heavy use in the timeline of the game. So you'd have pre-war weapons, so like your 9mm, your your hunting rifles, like shit that's kind of primitive and what we would recognize. Then you have your wartime weapons, which are like your 10 millimeters, your laser pistols, your plasma guns, shit like that. Then you would have your last level of these weapons, which would be your after war things, your advanced stuff. You know, but not all of it would be advanced. Some of it would be just like, you know, your raider tech that's like someone just threw together who didn't really have any concept of technology or anything like that. So basically, you would have to do a lot of things in order to get to that point. You would have to, you know, when these weapons were made would determine how degraded they are. So obviously, weapons from pre-war, unless they were kept in pristine condition, like you raid a museum or some shit, it's not going to be the best. It's not going to be in the best condition. So obviously, it's not going to be in really good shape. Raider tech weapons are not going to be well maintained by and large, unless you're dealing with like raiders who are really meticulous, which, you know, those are two things that kind of don't go together all the time. So essentially, the condition of your weapon is going to determine how much base damage it does. Weapons can basically degrade to a point where they are functionally broken. And they can still be repaired, but here's the thing. If you let a weapon get to the point where it's functionally broken, it never comes back. Like even if you repair it, you can never get it to like pristine condition. So it's better to maintain a weapon that you really like using over time. So once it gets around 50, 30%, and then repair it back up, than to try and not keep it in really good condition. I think that's an important part of Fallout, because you are dealing with a lot of the basic things that people like. Like, there might be a few factories making new shit, but they're going to control the supply, and it's going to be really expensive for you to get a new weapon. Vice versa, for places that do have some society and industry coming in, like the NCR, you can get new shit made, no problem. It might not be the most advanced technology, but you can get certain things made, no problem. So that basically is going to determine how your character uses their special abilities, etc., 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 that type of thing. So as far as weapons go, you'll have your typical weapons that you have in Fallout games, your pistols, your guns, your melee weapons. I think combat should be I think the best combat I've seen in a Fallout type game thus far is actually in the Outer Worlds, in terms of just how the combat felt. Now, a lot of the weapons did feel very samey, so I think you would have to change up how, weapons should feel different from one another. And there should be weight to it. Like when you shoot someone with a shotgun should feel very different from a rifle, which should feel very different from a sniper rifle, which should feel like, all the weapons should feel different and should feel good in their own way. And that's a big thing in a lot of games like this. So, different weapons should have different feels. Like if you're playing the game with a shotgun build, where you're like literally going up and blasting people with a boomstick, Ash style, from Evil Dead, you need to basically experience. You need to have that. The shotgun needs to feel like it has some stopping power, and only like Only against heavily armored enemies should the shotgun feel like, oh, this isn't doing the job. Against normal enemies, if you shotgun a motherfucker in the chest, that's their ass. Alright, there's no coming back from that shit. And that's how I would basically do it. You know, if you have a 357 Magnum and you shoot a guy in the face with it, that's the end of it. You know, like DT, the only creatures that basically should be like, okay, these enemies are shrugging off attacks are you know, mutated animals like your death claws, your rad scorpions, like really big, like powerful rad scorpions, mutated animals, mutated life, super mutants. Those dudes, okay, fair enough. They're going to be hard to kill. No doubt about it. But yeah, other enemies, not so much. But that's my own personal opinion. I know some people will disagree with me on that one. Stay tuned for part 4, where I will talk about miscellaneous and finally my overview of everything I would like to see in this game.